This video is sponsored by Drum Now. Write music with your favorite artists on demand and join the beta today by clicking the link in the description below. Drum Now is a revolutionary web-based platform that can be used on any device, and you can sign up for a free or core account today. Use promo code Mars Meditation for 50% off your first pack purchase. And now onto the video. Do you ever want to know what it's like driving a Tesla, if you haven't before? How are we to accelerate the advent of sustainable energy? Teslas are relatively becoming less expensive and more available to the general public. As I'm not presently able to purchase a Tesla today, I was able to rent a Tesla for 24 hours from TURO.com. Back in January of 2021, just last month, I got the full experience driving a brand new Tesla Model Y. As a Tesla fanboy, I personally had a really fun time driving this car. I mean, it was a great experience. But the question is it worth it to rent a Tesla from TURO.com? Let's find out. In a previous video on my channel, I actually rented a Model 3, and it was an electrifying experience. With similar specs to the Model Y, it was finally time to get behind the wheel of Tesla's new crossover electric spaceship. I kind of knew what to expect getting in the Model Y from the previous experience driving the 3, but I didn't really expect it to be such a fun experience. So we start rolling footage on my way to the TURO location when I pick up the Model Y. I do drive a 2008 Ford Focus. I call it the dinosaur of cars, but the car gets me from point A to point B, and I do own it completely. So until that time where I can buy a Tesla, it'll have to do. What's up, my Mars meditators? I am in the very noisy and dinosaur-esque car, the Ford Fusion 2008. I do have access as of last night to the Tesla app. The owner gave me full access to control climate, to check out the charging progress. But this Tesla Model Y was surprisingly a rental for $80 a day. But I rented the car with all the fees and transaction fees and everything else included. It ended up costing $140 approximately. And that's honestly a pretty good deal because I drove a Tesla Model 3 for about $30 extra than what I'm getting this Model Y for. So this person that listed this Model Y is really putting a competitive price out there for any of the other people who are renting out Teslas. So I had to jump on it. Anyways, we're about 10 minutes out from Centennial, Colorado. Gonna go pick up this car and get some awesome 4K footage. You're not gonna wanna miss it. Peace. So we're here picking up the Model Y. Just did my vehicle inspections. Here's my dinosaur, and here's the future. I'm gonna go ahead and close the front now. As you can see, a lot of front space here. Got my camera bag. Car's checking out okay. I'm just getting comfortable here before I take this guy out for a spin. The owner did let me know about some issues with the hatch closing, as well as the driver's side door. She said you have to slam it quite a bit. But we're pretty stoked, so let's get going. All right, we have made it. My butt is really warm right now because the seat heaters were already firing off before I even got in the car. I'm just doing some minor kind of quick control adjustments here to the car. So I am just adjusting the screen brightness, making sure that everything checks out, connected my phone already, just did some basic climate control stuff and made sure that the cameras work and everything's working just fine. Goal for today: drive around as much as you can. I'm limited to 200 miles today. That's enough mileage to get to Red Rocks Amphitheater, around the Evergreen area in Colorado. I wanted to film my reaction to driving this thing, so let's grab this key card. So this is gonna be my number one thing to get this thing going. What we do is we tap it down here below, 4-digit pin to drive. Safety first. That feels nice. And I'm just so excited to get this thing going. So without further ado, let's see how this thing drives. So what we do is we tap on the brake here, and we go ahead and we click down on here, and we are in drive, and the mirrors unfold. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. Let's go ahead and say bye-bye to the Ford. Bye, Ford. Maybe I should just leave it there for her and be like, I'll trade you for life. I can't be happier to be driving this car around. I know I'm the paying customer, but I promise you I will take care of this car, and we're due for a very fun adventure. I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing in a trip mode so I can count my miles, and we'll see you in the next section. With the help from my pal, Austin, we were on our way to Mount Lindo, where we stopped at the Ollinger Mount Lindo Cemetery. We made it to a graveyard on top of a mountain. Lots of sharp turns, high incline, and with the dual motor, it was just ripping up the mountain. But this is the view that we have. And once again, welcome to beautiful Colorado, everybody. As you can see, there's Denver right there. We heard this rumor that if you drove next to a bunch of gravestones and tombstones, you will see bodies pop up on the display. Unfortunately enough, at least in that cemetery, we didn't see any bodies on the screen, but if I did see a body, I probably would have freaked out a little bit. I'm not sure if that was just a fake rumor or if that's a real thing or not, but hey, I tested it out, so there you go. Maybe it was because they were cremated. On top of that mountain, it was really, really beautiful. There were some really great views there. It was a very surreal and serene place to be, and we didn't even mean to end up there. We just wanted to drive up a mountain in Evergreen, and we ended up at a cemetery. So we got some beautiful pictures of the Tesla Model Y unfurled. We tested out some other features such as Summon, Autopilot, and the full self-driving beta. Summon was one of those things where we tested it out in an empty parking lot. I got out of the car, my friend Austin sat inside of the car and watched the steering wheel turn and back out of the spot and try to find me in a parking spot. I challenged it quite a bit to come down and divert away from some medians and see if it could find me. And at least my first experience, I'm sure people have a lot of practice with this, it wasn't really that successful, but the car actually started driving, and it started driving towards me. It just kind of stopped at curbs and got a little confused at times, but I can see Summon being something that really, really works out in the end. And I think Austin's reaction to Summon was probably my favorite.
Here we go.
What was interesting about Summon is that when you're holding your phone, you actually have to click and hold, and to stop the car, you have to let go. I didn't know that at first, so when I clicked and hold my phone, it actually continued forward after it passed my location. So the Tesla had kind of a weird awareness, and it kind of just continued forward because it didn't know my exact GPS location. It just kind of had a bubble of where I was. So the user is kind of in control to stop the car. And if you keep it going, it's obviously not going to hit anyone, but it's just going to get more confused. Autopilot was actually a lot better than when I drove the Model 3 around. We drove on a highway called E470, which is a kind of wide 3-lane highway, but it has a lot of curves and speed changes and construction zones, but it takes you to the mountains of Colorado. I noticed that it was tracking stoplights. It was actually stopping at them and going at green lights perfectly. The only thing that I couldn't get to work was actually turning at stoplights. If there was no road lines at intersections, the car got really confused and beeped out on me. I was hoping that it would turn at intersections and that would work, but obviously there's a lot to work out. This is beta and there is a lot of edge cases. But it was really cool that it could handle stop and go traffic. It can totally take care of you in a traffic jam. It can totally take care of you at stoplights, and it really can take care of you on all those curves and turns and speed changes on the road. You can manage the top speed and the minimum speed on Autopilot when it's active, and it will let you know to squeeze the steering wheel when it's not getting enough attention. If you don't squeeze the steering wheel, you can actually do volume up and down in order to bypass that error message. Full self-driving was really a unique experience. I know that there's a lot to work on, but for someone who really doesn't have a Tesla every day and doesn't test out all the features all the time, it was just cool to get in the car and flip on Autopilot and just have it work. It was just like, this is the experience you deserve. All right, and now on to the specs of the specific car that I rented. This was a dual motor, long range Model Y, built in 2020. It had a 326 estimated mile range on a full battery charge, 19-inch Gemini wheels, no tow hitch, 5-seater with Autopilot, and this car has a purchase price as of this video of around $50,990. This car has a top speed of 135 miles per hour, and it had a 0 to 60 of 4.8 seconds, which was fast enough for me. The interior was white vegan leather, and of course we already know that the Model Y trunk hatch has an automatic open and close feature. Alright, so looking inside the car, we have the white vegan leather, a very clean, spacious interior. We also have the beautiful dome sunroof, or what you can call infinite glass ceiling. The rearview mirror is slightly small, and I did see some slightly weird defects on some of the interior designs there with the plastic. I noticed that the visors work really well with the magnets. The doors shut just fine. You don't have to force them or anything like that. I do love the steering wheel, how minimalistic it is, and I do love how you can open the door just by a click of a button. There's enough room in the door cubby area for a water bottle and other storage. The frunk had a great amount of room. It was very deep. And the only thing that I noticed was that after a car wash, the frunk would actually stay wet, so it wasn't necessarily waterproof. In the frunk, you do have your windshield wiper fluid, and you have your wiper fluid lines that drive into your wipers. The signature Tesla headlights are probably my favorite part of the car, with their LED strips and just really, really bright luminosity. The door handles are really fun because you actually have to press with your thumb and then pull the handle out. The seats folded out, and once you have the seats folded out, you have a lot of trunk space, and you can even put at least a twin-size bed back there and camp in the car. I'd say this is the perfect car for camping, as well as just date nights. In the Tesla charging bag, you are fitted with all of the charging adapters, as well as a 10-foot charging plug, so that you can plug it into your house. And everything fits just perfectly in that bag. When you open up the trunk floor, you have an even deeper storage place for luggage and or other groceries, and then also a little spot there under the seats. The Gemini wheels are really cool looking. I like how futuristic they are. They're different from the turbine wheels, but they're very aerodynamic. I will say that I really do like that pearl white finish on the paint job. It seems as if Tesla has really figured out how to do the best paint quality for their new builds here. The suspension of the car was very tight, but it was also very comfortable and eliminated a lot of road noise. And onto the display of the car. This is actually an updated UI for the Tesla software. You can use your steering wheel to manage some of the mechanical features on the car, such as mirrors and your steering wheel itself. You can change screen brightness and change that to auto if you'd like. I noticed that the headlights section was pretty in depth. You can do a lot with the headlights. There's a lot with child lock and window lock, so that you can have full control on the locks in the car. You can actually manage display here too, so you can actually change it to night mode, or you can do automatic based on the lightness of the day. You can change your brightness, and then you can also change your language, your time zones, 24-hour military time. You can change from miles to kilometers. It just has so much functionality here. And the best part about this car is that you have the ability to change your acceleration mode, your steering mode, and your regenerative braking. With Autopilot, I went ahead and turned everything on. I wanted the auto steer, I wanted to navigate on Autopilot, I wanted traffic and stoplight data, green light traffic. I wanted to see all the visualizations, such as the trash cans, the cones, the people, the bikes, the trucks, everything. And I also obviously tested out Summon. So with navigation, you actually have a lot of features where you can actually use the voice control to tell the car where you're going, and then use Full Self-Driving Beta to get you to that destination. There's a service section on here where you can schedule your servicing for your car, and you can adjust your headlights. And then there's also a software section where it gives you the mileage on your car, your VIN number, and the actual software version of the car. You can also, as you're parking or driving, look at all your cameras. You can check your battery consumption here. And when you're parked, the car has the ability to stream Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, whatever you want, as well as play video games. I really, really liked the Rainbow Road feature, and I really, really liked playing with the fart mode as well. And there was also this really, really cool view where you can actually turn your car into a Mars rover and drive around on Mars, at least visually, that is. I truly had a blast driving around this Model Y. I thank the family that trusted me with their baby. I truly had a blast driving this Model Y around. Thank you to the family that trusted me with their baby, but they really got the final smile because they really got kind of a fourth of their car payment in that trip alone. TURO is kind of a really unique way to help with your car payment. You kind of just take the sacrifice of wear and tear and potentially someone wrecking your car or causing damage to the interior. But don't worry, I took really good care of this car. I even washed it. I seriously can't wait to own one of my Teslas someday, and I'm convinced that this car that I drove might be the one that I purchase. The Model Y was elegant, spatial, luxurious, fierce, futuristic, and just made other cars seem prehistoric. It exceeded all my expectations regardless of its few flaws. It was definitely worth the trip. Well, that's it for me today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this review of the Model Y. I had a great time again, and I'm happy that you guys were able to view this video. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Teslas today, and if you think that what I did was actually worth it. Thanks to Austin for helping me with the 4K footage and the cinema photography. And thanks to you, the subscribers, and the people who watch these videos and help me grow this channel. If you'd like to support the channel, comment, like, share this video with someone you think that would enjoy it, and subscribe because it's free. And stay tuned for the next video where I actually meditate in this car and we'll do a guided breathing meditation together right here on Mars Meditation. It's a unique, weird video that I don't think anyone has on YouTube right now. Anyways, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate your time here. And remember, as a collective consciousness, we can become a multiplanetary civilization. Be great to each other, be safe, be happy, and you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.